This is the Fancy Room News with Cookie Mick News. The 1920s to some was a time of moral decay as rural life became different from the life in the city. City life was characterized by casual dating, drinking, and general rebellion from the way life had been. During these changes, the 1920s was also a time for cultural growth for African Americans and a general growth and diversity of the nation. The Harlem Renaissance was a movement of literature and music in the black community to regain
The Great Migration was a time between 1910 and 1920 where the African Americans from the South migrated north to big cities like Harlem in search for job opportunities, cultural growth, and less discrimination.
During the Harlem Renaissance, African American people had more pride in their culture. Some people even thought that they should go back to where they came from, like Africa or Jamaica, as Marcus Garvey, as seen here, did. He started UNIA, which was an organization that felt this way. There was also other people who believed that African Americans should start their own society within the United States.
We of the Universal Negro Improvement Association demand that the white, yellow, and brown races give the black man his place in the civilization of the world. We ask for nothing more than the rights of 40 million Negroes.
During the 20s, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People began urging blacks to become more aggressive against racial violence. The group, which was founded in 1909, saw their membership double in the 20s. The protests became more frequent and powerful. The NAACP introduced 3 anti-lynching bills during the 20s. Although none became laws, the NAACP continued to fight it through organizations and protests as illustrated here, and gradually the death count dropped.
No more lynching! No more lynching!
The Harlem Renaissance was a time of cultural development, including literature. Langston Hughes was a poet.
I'm done! I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh, and eat well, and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am, and be ashamed. I too am America.
Music had always been a big part of the African American culture, and it blossomed during the Harlem Renaissance. Jazz came about in the 20th century in New Orleans. Joining a couple of very popular jazz groups, then starring on his own, Louis Armstrong was one of the bright stars during the 20s, bringing African Americans on the stage with their own music.
Someone smack the knife by the river. Cement bags moving down.
The Harlem Renaissance was a time of cultural development, including poetry, literature, and music. So put on your glad rags, because the 20s were copacetic.
During the 20s, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People began urging blacks to become more aggressive against
Dry.